Hi guys, it's Belle here and it is time for the final December 2024 video, and this is a flip through of the completed journal. I just have to say this is the first year. It's my third year doing some of the December prompts, but it's the first year I've completed them, and I don't know what that is. This has been 2024 has been a really creative year for me. I've really enjoyed it, and I think part of that is I've just really allowed myself to play in a way that maybe I haven't done at any other point since starting my channel. And yeah, I don't know why this has been my favorite December. I will say though, I do want to make a journal next year, I think, for December, but I'm gonna do what Barbara does. I'm gonna make a soft covered journal. I like soft covered. I just put this together off just before video 2. It's from a paper bag. It's got some vintage sewing paper over it. It's still got its pockets. This first piece that I made for December works so well as a journal topper that I ended up making a journal. So yeah, so let's have a look at how things look in the journal. And this was altered playing card and antique keys, and we have a massive altered playing card. There's a playlist for this December, so if you have missed any of the videos or want to go back and check on them, or haven't watched any at all and this is your first time here, first of all, hello. We create and get messy here, and also a little bit chatty. And yeah, I really love how this came out. And this whole journal has a theme. I didn't realise when I started it, but certainly now I'm looking back, there is definitely a vintage mechanical memory theme going on, and I love it. I really, really love it. I was going to add charms to the bottom of this because I left the threads, and I decided there's so many charms and bits hanging already. Well, not too many, but definitely on the front and a few on the side and things, that I just thought it would be overkill, to be honest. So let's get into the journal. It's got these pockets here and one at the back, and as you've seen, I am going to keep my prompts in there, but nothing else. This journal's chunky. I mean, it just doesn't shut. I know some people don't like that. To me, that means it's a well-loved, well-used journal. Plus, I'm a very chunky crafter. I like a lot of layers. It just doesn't feel complete without it. So let's just open her up and get started. This was the second prompt. If you unclip this, I used tons of vintage pieces in here too. This was the layered tag and retro film strip. This kind of started it all off. We've got a vintage photo. We've got another vintage photo. We've got some vintage stamps. We've got dangles. Used some packaging. I mean, I was really trying to use up scraps in here. And I was also really trying to use vintage pieces because we tend to hoard them. And I understand why. There's only so many in the world, let's face it. And certain things like the photographs or letters, I wonder how many of those will be left, because obviously we don't do that a lot anymore. Everything's very digital, but still. And this next one was one of the brightest pages, but it still makes me laugh. It makes me chuckle. Apothecary label and quirky cat or dog. This little cat, let me bring you down even further. This little cat, I just think is so cute. With its little crown, lots of bubbles. We had a whole wing thing happen. Again, if you haven't seen the video. And lots of sort of muted colours, and we've got the apothecary labels. Time spent with cats are never wasted. I'm a cat mum, so I completely agree with that message. And then this one was, we were doing them in order, and then I just started putting them anywhere. Snippet roll and woven flowers. And one of my new favourite things is making snippet rolls out of vintage sewing pattern paper. Loved it. Put this one into a tag. There's a story about this fine gentleman here, and this is the first time I really started using cogs and giving it a bit of a steampunk feel or metal feel, and we carried on with this. Really like this one. Don't normally use a chappy so much like this because it's quite serious looking, but you know, This is one of the later prompts. This was from December... December 24th, Christmas Eve. And this was steam photo frame and steampunk butterfly. You can see that metal there. I mean, it's dark here, so we've got the lights on. But there is so much metal on this page. We've got lots of little... These are real metal cogs. By this point, I just didn't care. Like the journal was already chunky. Why not just add some real metal cogs? It moves. We've got real metal cogs. Got this beautiful... I love this page. I really do. And we've got... Funny enough, that says factory number 1896. And then I put 1896 down there. That wasn't on purpose. But yeah, we've even got embossing on the key. Love that page. Love the theme. Oh, I love this one. I'm going to say this is probably my least favourite, but I love it because it's a memory. And it was December 9th, journaling card and beloved visitor. So I put some vintage map page behind this pocket, then put sign pattern paper over the top, and then I did this using a mail card that sometimes comes in the post when you're not here and your parcels arrive. And this is my dad as a young man, and we put robins because robins, what is it? When robins appear, a loved one is near, or something like that. So there's robins on here. So these are our beloved visitors, and obviously journaling card. This was something from my son, vintage map, all that kind of thing. It's my least favourite composition-wise. I love this bit and the green, but I'm not so sure how this all works with it. But we did it, we played, and it's still a special card because it's got my dad's on it. So... then this was the last one we did. So this was December 31st. You would have seen this yesterday. And this was Mixed Media Tag and Urban Graffiti. And can I just say, I think this has turned into one of my favourites. Just because it's a lot of fun. I really love the acetate wings, the way I used alcohol inks on there. But what I didn't show you in the video, yes, you saw that it flips down. But actually, I then used a stencil to put create art on there in a urban graffiti, not way at all, but sort of, and used some bright coloured cogs, pinks, greens, and pinks, blues, and yellows, and then a die cut that I used a white pen for. And I just kind of think that finished the whole piece off. Loved it. Go over and see that video if you have missed it. I think she's lovely. This one was which one was this? December 26th, Boxing Day. And the prompt was collage postcard and curiosity shop. So we've got our collage postcard. Well, we've got our postcard, used tea bag on there, lots of stamps, both actual postage stamps and stamping stamps. And then if we turn it over, we have this. Trying to get it to look. You see all the metal? And we've got a red embossed heart in this cloche. Collaged on the back, my cabinet of curiosities. Fun little piece, again using some cogs and some embossing and little bits. I was trying to use up scraps that I had left over because, you know, use up our scraps. Oh, and this page, this was so cute too. This actually was December 30th, and it was envelope flip and secret love letter. We've got this lovely elder couple on here, again an acetate butterfly, definitely a butterfly theme. We've got some stitching. It says, I love you. I added that off camera, an embossed heart. And then we open this up because this is the envelope flip. And then here I'd used another envelope, what they call junk mail envelope. I've written a song that means a lot to me and my partner. I've used some packaging off flowers that I was gifted by one of my kids. Use some alcohol inks. I added better together off camera. And then here we've got the flip, but then I've added another little envelope that says, yes, my darling. And if we open this up, just in case you didn't see it, there are some pictures of me and my partner. Love you. And then on the back, live this life out loud. So that is my little envelope flip. I'm not even going to attempt to put that back together. This is another really special one to me. This was, what was this one? This was, oh my goodness, what one was this? Journaling card, altered pocket, flip out page and old photos. So I used some corrugated card, which I love. This is my great grandmother. Did lots of added some cogs again, some flowers, lots of things that I love. And when it flips up, more cogs and everything. And there's again my dad. So like I said, flip out page and old photos, because these are my old photos. If you're new here and haven't seen that I use a lot of my own vintage family photos, make copies, guys. I always say this, make copies. And because I'd inked this up, I added the lines with the extra ink throughout the journal. And do you know what? I really love how that looks. Middle page. Oh my gosh, this one just makes me laugh still. This is paper bag handle and slow stitching. So I use one of the Tim Holtz portraits. These are my paper bag handles that I've turned into a journaling card. And she's got attitude. And she's like, hello, focus. We've got lots of stitching all over her dress. We've got someone here. There's flowers coming out the back. That is so cute. It's probably the second brightest one in here. But, oh, it just makes me laugh every single time. Oh, yeah, loved this one. This was, I just keep saying that. This was December 23rd, and this was altered book page and blackout poetry. And I themed mine all around the mythology and Irish tradition with the Draleen, which is the wren, and what happens on St. Stephen's Day in Ireland. So I did two types of altered book page. Obviously, blackout poetry, you do have an altered book page. But here I've got some Edith Holden. I had my first attempt at drawing a Draleen after the book page, like it was a picture in a book, and I kind of did a very basic, my version of it. Used some Stabilo pencil to do all this. Wrote it in Irish. I did put in the end the folk song, which is all about the wren song. And this is all inked up. And the folk story of how the wren became king of the birds, which is why he's got his little crown. But the page that I did my poem for was about the wren, because that's the bird of December, and obviously we're doing this in December. Lots of people really did black out the rest of the words, which is what you're meant to do. But I used ink on mine, and I then embossed the actual words I wanted to be the poems with some clear embossing, and it just says wren, from garden and heathlands, in among foliage, tiny wrens, lyrical and trembling. They can sing through winter. They are winter king. And we have all the snowflakes and something if I want to write on the back. And I enjoyed sharing some of my Irish traditions, being Irish, and a little bit about the wren, which is the bird of the month. Such a cute page. So this wasn't really a page. This is more the snippet roll. And all through the month until the 25th, I was opening this mini advent calendar. So again, if you haven't seen that, go check this out. But this one goes with this one. And this was for mini pocket letter and specimen. Now, again, I know I found it really interesting seeing a lot of people talk about pocket letters. And Louisa was saying, you know, I think it's a very old thing and that people did it ages ago. And I find that really interesting because I came to junk journaling through pocket letters. It was someone I met whilst on Janet Lane, I believe. She's the creator of pocket letters, and I was on her actual pocket letter site where I was swapping and things for years. I've met some of my dearest, closest friends. I've met my two Crafty Coven members, Anna and Sarah, which you will have seen their work because I share that a lot and we do the Advent together. And I met a lovely woman called Sue who was making junk journals alongside, or started making them alongside pocket letters. And she was like, you've got to get into junk journals, Bound. I was like, I don't see the point. I really don't see the point of them. I know. I said that for about 8 months. I don't see the point, Sue. I know you keep saying, but I really don't see the point. And now look at me. So they're not actually that old. They're just a different thing. They came around, I think ATCs were first, which ATCs are still around. And then it was the idea of you keep your ATCs in pockets. And then Janet Lane came up with the idea of let's make it a happy mail. So the pocket in a pocket letter and the letter part is because you would write to pen pals. I made a lot of friends all over the world thanks to pocket letters. So I found this interesting. Anyway, this was my pocket letter specimen. It says mini. Pocket letters are normally 9 pockets, but as I said, I've made hundreds of pocket letters over the years. Hundreds. I am not kidding you. So to me, a mini pocket letter is either a 3 pocket or the other one, which I'll show you in the minute. But I went for a 2 on this one. I didn't put anything in the back. You're meant to put goodies and washi and tea and all that good stuff. I didn't do that. That's just tucking into the back there because it was the best place for it. Let's go back. Where are you? And then I made a mini. Now, I have made these before as part of pocket letter swaps. They're using one of the pockets in your 9 pocket sheet and turning it in, and I did this. So I made a mini and then a mini, and I like them so much, but I only did the 2 pocket actually on camera. But I have had people ask if I would show, oh my goodness, I can't get that on there, if I would show how to make the mini and use the fuse tool that you do it with on camera. So that will be coming at some point. Love this one. This is, I love them all really, a bookmark and black and white. This is actually a bookmark, and you may say, no, it's not, Belle. It is a bookmark. If you're a reader, you will often have come across magnetic bookmarks. I use them all the time, magnetic. And I know in this video I showed you one of my magnetic bookmarks. And the reason I like them is I carry books everywhere with me, and I find traditional bookmarks fall out. So magnetic bookmarks are great. So I thought, how can I make a magnetic bookmark for a journal? And so it became this. It's all in black and white. Now that is not my go-to. I like cream and I like vintage. I love black, but anyway, and it was all themed around a birthday party. And what I didn't show you when we made it is obviously it's magnetic, so it can stick. You can see it on the side, but if you put it above the page, it obviously sticks out as well, so you can see it above your journal. And what I also showed you on that is, yes, it is a bookmark, but obviously we are journalers, so let me grab this. It can also hold things in there as well. And one of you lovely people came up with the idea, because I was saying I use magnets. I'm not sure how we could do this without magnets. Paper clips, obviously altered paper clips. It's along those lines, but it is a magnetic bookmark. This one was least favourite ephemera and bookbinders art. And this was the one I think threw most of us. Let's do this. It threw most of us. But I went for, I don't have a least favourite ephemera, but I don't use these banner tucks a lot. And the bookbinders, I went with the idea of pages, and we've actually got some spine here from a vintage book. And I really actually like how this turned out. I've worked out that if I don't do a banner with straight sides, I kind of like the banner a lot more than I thought I was. So I'll probably use it even more. Really like it. It's very cute, and use some Edith Holden. This one is probably one of my favourite pages. Is the Chunka. I love steampunk, so this is one of my favourites, as I said. And this is December 25th, Christmas Day, if you celebrate that. Double tag and botanical garden. I have now coined the phrase. I don't know if I have, but botanical. And I said it already. No, it's double tag and mechanical garden. I've now coined the phrase botanical, as in metal and botanical. That's what I'm now saying. Got this beautiful, I have so many cogs on here, guys. If you have not seen this video, there's metal, there's plastic, there's gold, there's all sorts. Love it. So there's my botanical garden. Double tag. We've got our botanical fairy. Our little metal garden fairy with her double wings, steampunk, our little steampunk fairy, because it says steampunk. No, it doesn't say steampunk. I'm looking at the butterfly. And here's our double tag. It says collect beautiful moments. So yeah, this is one of my favorites. Love this piece. It would be so good, I think, on the front of a steampunk journal. And I know quite a few of you have said you'd like to see me do a steampunk journal. So we'll see. We'll see what 2025 brings. Okay, this was a real wild card for me. And I tried something I don't normally really do, but I've ended up really liking it. And this was Tuck Spot and Cheese. So I've used some wallpaper that's textured and some stars because I thought cheese has holes. Then I thought the old idea of the man in the moon being made of cheese, I love moons, so I made a man in the moon cheese with its holes journaling card, which I love. Gave me his little hat. Today's full of possibilities. And then I wanted it on a music page because I always think of music, and we've got our hanging stars from texture paper. And yeah, really weird for me, but you know what? I ended up really loving it. And then we have, is this the final? I think this is the final one I've got to share. This was Altered Pocket and Texture Fragments. And this one was completely inspired by Barbara from 49 Dragonflies. She always uses denim. So I went out and picked up a really cheap denim skirt, a little kid's skirt. I've done stamping on here. I've learnt some stuff. I've learnt that the Tim Holtz rub-ons work really well on there. I've got gold splatters because you cannot have a Barbara piece without gold splatters. Texture fragments, we've got some more of that vintage book spine fabric I've stitched. I've got some canvas fabric, obviously had to have 49. This dragonfly is very special to me because it was gifted by a dear crafty friend who, again, I met through pocket letters, guys, and she's no longer with us. So I've hoarded quite a lot of the last pieces of ephemera she gifted me, but I want to start using them in my own pieces because she gifted them to me to use. So it makes this more special. A thank you both to my dear friend and to Barbara for all her inspiration. And then again, I used my last snippet, before I made a load more, of texture, covered in texture, snippet roll from the snippet roll prompt out of vintage sewing pattern paper, and that's just a little tag that pops in there. Love this, makes it quite chunky. I left the threads all coming out because I cut it off the pocket, and so they're all a bit because I didn't want it perfect. Love that. And then we've got the end of the journal. So yeah, guys, this has been such a great December. I am so thankful to Barbara and Louisa for everything they've done, all the work they do. I know as a creator that here on YouTube, the amount of work that goes into making videos, and I rarely even edit mine, but they edit, they make the videos, they make the freebies, they put the prompts together. I know how much hard work goes into this and the amount that they do for the community and their videos. I mean, I think, what was it Barbara called Louisa? She's our junk journal scientist. She really is. I learned from both of them so much, and I love this, and they do it at this time of the year for special reasons. They're always, you know, thinking about the community and everyone, and I just think these prompts are so fun. I love the fact that they pick things that even they struggle with, because we can easily go, oh well, obviously they pick prompts because they can do them, but no, they pick random prompts, they sort it out, and then like a month or so later they come back to them and go, oh yeah, that was the prompt we did. I love that they challenge us, but the amount of work that they put into this, guys, and we all just have so much fun. All we're doing is creating the pages, and that takes prep time, and especially if you're filming and all that. They create the prompts and everything else, and Louisa does usually 2 videos, and I'm so grateful that we have such an amazing crafting community, and that there's challenges like this from amazing creators who spend their time just to try and make things special for all of us. So thank you so much, Louisa and Barbara. And thank you to all of you who have watched my videos. I know some of you have found me through this December and have subscribed. Thank you so much. I cannot tell you how much it honestly means to me. Yeah, it means the world to me. This is going to have to be tied very, very tight. So thank you for everyone who has watched my videos. Thank you to everyone who has commented, who has liked. I appreciate you so much, guys. I have had so much fun. I know I have a lot of comments and things still to catch up with. It's been the festive period. I have had all the family down. I will catch up. But yeah, I think this will be one of my favourite journals. I've made a lot of those this year. Little journals that I really, really love. I love everything popping out the top of it. I absolutely do. I love the fact that this charm hangs over the top. Yeah, I've just had such an amazing time this December, and a lot of that is down to you guys, because I can make videos, but if no one's watching and interacting with them, it's just me talking into the ether, and that's great, but also it's also great to be part of a community too. So thank you so much. And again, like I said, a huge thank you to Barbara and Louisa for doing this again. I think it's their third year. I've only done it 3 years, so I'm not sure. And yeah, as I said, if you haven't caught up with all the videos, there is a playlist. So that's wonderful. And I'm already excited for next year's December. And we're not even, like, it's 12 months, 11 months away. So we'll see. Who knows what I will be doing for next year's. But this is a treasured little piece, and it's full of memories, both creative and pictures of loved ones. So thank you so much, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this. Leave comments down below. As I said, I deeply appreciate them. Even if it's taken me a little bit of a while to get back through to you, I always reply to all of them. And wherever you are in the world, firstly, happy 2025. I hope it brings you health, happiness, laughter, great memories, and a lot of crafty fun. Bye for now, guys.